Things got tense at the RAF post-event press conference when Arman Tsarukyan and Colby Covington went head-to-head in a heated back-and-forth exchange. Both fighters had strong showings on the card. Arman picked up a dominant win over Georgio Poullas, scoring 9-3, while Colby put on a masterclass against Dillon Danis, cruising to a 14-4 victory. After the event wrapped up, Colby wasted no time taking shots at Arman, mocking him for grappling a 125-pound opponent in a previous matchup. But Arman wasn't having any of it. He fired right back and immediately challenged Covington to step onto the RAF mat and wrestle him for real. Colby doubled down on his frustrations, claiming the UFC is blocking him from competing against current UFC fighters in wrestling. However, he made it clear he plans to sit down with the organization to push for the match, saying the fans are clearly demanding it. That exchange has ignited some serious bad blood between the two, and fight fans are now buzzing about the possibility of the UFC greenlighting the matchup for a future RAF event. Colby would likely enter as a heavy favorite given his size edge and elite wrestling pedigree, but it's still a fascinating matchup to think about. Let's roll the clip from the RAF press conference where Arman and Colby go at it.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I'd love to dunk him, give him a wedgie and, stuff him in a locker.
It sounds like you got an awful big fan base here, though. Did you hear people get behind you?
I did, man.
I think it'll be a hell of a story, hell of a great match.
I love it, man. It's a great angle. I think it's a great storyline. We did used to train together at one point.
Maybe he misunderstood it wasn't me, so someone else.
No, it's definitely you, bro. Come on. You know this, dude.
Come on, bro. I'm gonna train with you. I've seen you in the gym, but we never wrestled.
No, we wrestle. I swear on my life, we wrestle all day.
Bro,
yeah, I got respect.
Come on, there's like thousands of Pakistani and Chechen guys will look so similar, like. But bro, nobody beat me in the ATT, and especially you in the wrestling.
Dana White finally broke his silence on some major UFC storylines. First up, he confirmed that Islam Makhachev will make his next title defense in August. Dana didn't officially name the opponent just yet, but it's becoming increasingly clear that Michael Morales is the man, especially after Morales publicly hinted that he's already put pen to paper on the contract. Dana also addressed the long-awaited return of Conor McGregor. He admitted the fight isn't locked in just yet, but the UFC is actively working to bring Conor back this summer. White sounded genuinely optimistic about getting the Notorious One back inside the octagon sometime in July or August. Dana also weighed in on the big main event, reacting to Joe Pyfer's stunning TKO victory over Israel Adesanya. He heaped praise on Pyfer for his performance and the way he finished the stylebender. At the same time, Dana gave Izzy his flowers too, saying he looked fresh, sharp, and moving well despite the result, proving the former champion still has plenty left in the tank. Let's roll Dana's thoughts on Pyfer's massive win.
What do you think of the main event?
Yeah, I mean that's what we were talking about in the back. We started looking at all the performances tonight for Pyfer to come in at number 14, and beat Israel Adesanya, one of the best middleweights ever, and the number 4 ranked guy. It's pretty impressive, and to finish him.
There's going to be a lot of talk about Izzy and where he is in the sport and this stuff. But what did you think of his performance before he ended up getting taken down?
He looked good. He looked fast, using angles. Yeah, I thought he looked great.
And then for Joe Pyfer, what does it do for him having a legend like Israel on his resume? Where do you think he can go from here?
It's huge, and more importantly, the Joe Pyfer story, and now the guy's ranked in the top 5 in the UFC, which is very, very tough to do.
Did you know he was considering suicide a couple of weeks ago?
I did not know that.
Colby Covington wasn't done with his call-out spree. After going at it with Arman, Colby turned his attention to Khamzat Chimaev, Arman's teammate and the current UFC middleweight champion. Colby argued that a wrestling matchup with Khamzat would generate massive buzz, reminding everyone that a UFC fight between the two was once in the works. Now that Khamzat has moved up in weight, Colby says they can still make it happen on the real American freestyle mat. Covington made it known he's frustrated with the UFC for not delivering the high-profile fights he feels he deserves. He says he's planning to sit down with Hunter Campbell when the UFC rolls into Miami in a few weeks, a face-to-face conversation about his future with the promotion. His message was simple: if you won't give me the fights I want inside the octagon, let me compete in these big wrestling events. Let's hear Colby's full call-out.
I want to wrestle against Tsarukyan. That's a guy I used to beat up on all the time at ATT. He was a little understudy to me, who he used to come train just because he wanted to get beat up by me in the gym. So that's someone who I kind of want to expose to the world and beat his ass on the RAF mat. We're trying to find ways. I really want to go against Khamzat. I wanted to fight him obviously a couple years ago, but now he's in a different weight class, and time's passed. So I would love to wrestle against Khamzat and RAF. I think it'd be a highly entertaining match. The press conference would be fire.
And Khamzat Chimaev fired right back. In a recent Russian-language interview with Observer Express, Khamzat made it crystal clear that he's more than willing to wrestle Colby at the very next Real American Freestyle event. He showed absolutely zero respect for Covington's wrestling credentials, saying it would be easy work and that Colby is simply too small to cause him any problems on the mat. This fiery response comes while Khamzat is deep in training camp for his first middleweight title defense against Sean Strickland at UFC 328 in May. Because of that, it's highly unlikely he participates in any outside sporting event before that fight. Still, the momentum around a potential Chimaev versus Covington wrestling showdown keeps building, and many fans now expect it to happen sometime after UFC 328. The bad blood has been brewing for a while, and if this wrestling match actually gets made, it'll be one of the most anticipated non-UFC events of the year. Let's roll Khamzat's response to Colby's call-out.
Colby is a clown. He is a stupid American boy, you know, just like the rest of them. I can wrestle with this bitch anytime. It's easy work for me. Let's wrestle at the next RAF event. I will take his heart out. He would need to call the cops on me. How are you going to use your cardio? How are you going to take me down? How are you going to do anything to me? He is too little for me. He's a small guy. It's an easy fight for me, no matter inside the octagon or in wrestling. On the next RAF, I will make him humble again. Let's go.
Arman Tsarukyan also made a big announcement about what's next for him. In a recent interview with the Schmo, Arman revealed that he will be fighting for a belt this summer. Whether it's the BMF title or an undisputed championship belt, he doesn't care. He's ready to compete at the highest level. On top of that, Arman confirmed he'll serve as a backup fighter for the upcoming Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje bout in case anything falls through. And just to keep things spicy, Arman continued trading shots with Colby, clapping back at recent comments where Covington accused him of being lazy and not training seriously. Arman made it very clear he's locked in, focused, and coming for whoever's in front of him. With Ilia and Justin already set for June, an undisputed title shot for Arman this summer is pretty unlikely, but a BMF showdown makes all the sense in the world. A rematch with Charles Oliveira, the current BMF champion, fits perfectly given where both fighters stand in the division. Arman has been loud about wanting big fights, and it's clear he's done waiting. With a potential win over Charles, the UFC won't be able to keep delaying his title shot much longer. Let's roll the clip of Arman announcing his summer plans.
We're all chomping at the bit to see you fight for the UFC world title. When do you reckon you're going to enter back in the octagon?
This summer. This summer I'll fight. It's for sure this summer for the belt, any belt.
Any belt.
It's a BMF, it's a real belt, so.
But he has a fight coming up. I'm a backup for that fight. I'm gonna be ready if something happens, and I'm gonna stay active. Maybe I'll do RAF next month or maybe in the May. So we'll see when Colby Covington is ready. When he's gonna be done with his drinking beer and lay down on the beach and do extra exercises during the night. So you know, I'm not Dillon Danis, but I'm a legit wrestler. So you gotta keep training.
I'm not a bodybuilder influencer. I'm a legit wrestler and a 4-time challenger in the UFC.
Yes, you are, but if you're gonna like keep doing the same thing, you're gonna lose me. But
no,
I'm saying I wanna have like a real wrestling match. So keep training, keep training.
That's it from MMA Time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA updates.